Well, nobody likes to play in Portland more than Klay Thompson, his childhood area. And the Warriors absolutely needing this game to get a week off, get Andrew Wiggins back healthy, get their unit ready to defend that championship. And yet Portland scored 125 points against the Clippers yesterday. They're young, hungry, and your word, Kalena, rambunctious.
Right. They're just freewheeling it, trying to play spoiler tonight. Shadon Sharp, his last 9 games starting, 24 points a game. Kevin Knox, his last 2, has been playing extremely well. And Trendon Watford had, 24 last night.
Near turnover by Skylar Mays, but remained Warrior ball. Yeah, Knox is coming off 30, a career high yesterday.
He's been playing well. His last 2 games, 27 a game. You got to expect them to step up.
Steph finding Klay Thompson, and he opens with a 3.
It's that misdirection. Mays got caught on that screen.
I want Klay to get 5 tonight. That would give him 300. Skylar Mays, Shadon Sharp, with Jonathan Williams, likes to be called Nate, along with Trendon Watford and Kevin Knox. This is the rookie Sharp from the top of the key and putting it in. And tell me about playing at 12:30. It's a little different as Steph, Klay, Dante, Looney, and Draymond, and Klay Thompson opens with a couple threes.
Well, I was talking to Klay at breakfast. If he had a different routine to get ready for these early games, he's like, nah, the same. I'll be all right. And he is all right, clearly. You got to get yourself warmed up. Maybe sometimes do a little extra in warm-ups as the Warriors make them lose it.
Watford turning it over. Klay, third opportunity. And this one off iron.
He's trying to start extremely fast.
Just walking into threes. Shadon Sharp has the greenest of green light, and so does Klay Thompson, who has all 8 Warrior points.
He's going to single-handedly get the Warriors off to an amazing start.
Skylar Mays missing off back iron. Mays on a 10-day contract. He was the 50th pick in 2020 by Atlanta. And DiVincenzo will get to the line. Nissan keys to the game, partner. What do you got last game of the year?
On-ball defense. This is a team that's usually been about ISO all season. Obviously, a lot of guys out, but Shadon Sharp is going to try to go at your head. Get off to a great start. And I don't have to explain why. Bench production is going to be important, probably because a lot of guys are going to get in on the action tonight. So you want to come in off the bench with all kinds of energy. GP2 will do that for you. And this Blazer team, obviously, they're super short-handed, and all season their bench has been an issue. They haven't really gotten much production off the bench.
So DiVincenzo, couple free throws down. Mays got all the way to the rim to lay that up and in.
He's been compared to Malcolm Brogdon. It's pretty crafty, and if you're Steph there, you just force him to the screen. The help is on the wrong side as Klay knocks down another 3.
We were going to wonder if Klay would get to 300. Well, how about hitting 3 threes already?
He's trying to get his work done early.
Shadon Sharp in the corner to Nate Williams, and DiVincenzo the miss. You can run off missed corner threes. And Steph does for 3. And rattled that out.
Tried to stop in no man's land.
Early foul as Watford began the drive. So Chauncey Billups, to his credit, as they started to rest Damian Lillard and Nurkic and others, they went to Minnesota as almost a 20-point underdog and won. We mentioned how they played the Clippers. These young guys have played hard for him the whole time.
Well, Chauncey Billups is the man for the job. I love that he put himself through like a coaching training camp with his friend Ty Lue and just spent the night at his house figuring out different situations, X's and O's. So he's not just relying on the fact that he was a great player, great point guard. He's like, no, I want to put in the work, be ready for whatever comes my way.
Yeah, Trendon Watford a couple free throws. He had 24 yesterday against the Clips. Klay Thompson with 4 threes. 299 on the year. The NBA leader from deep. To get 5 threes to get to 300. Only James Harden and Stephen Curry have ever done that in an NBA season. He's 1 away from accomplishing that goal.
When you watch Klay, you got to remember his journey, his fight to get back here, playing at this level. And remember his shooting percentages earlier in the season. To finish the season over 41% from three-point range on the precipice of 300 threes in a season is insane.
Shaedon Sharpe, nice mid-range.
You can see his confidence is growing. Yeah, that's going to have to be your focus tonight for the Warriors defensively.
He's made 100 threes. He's only 19 years of age. He's getting all these live reps. In kind of a lost season for the Blazers. Dante finding Draymond, couldn't quite lay it in.
But Clay set a back screen for him. That's the Warriors' mentality. He's hot, use him as a decoy.
And then Watford stopping and hitting the three.
He's coming off a great game last night. This team, forget about the back-to-back of this team. They're so young.
But they led the Clippers at halftime. And Clay stepped on the sideline, and the Warriors turn it over.
You know the Blazers are going to play hard. Let's see if you can keep the turnovers just under 14 tonight, 14 or less.
And 24 in Sacramento, and it was hard to watch at times. And then there were Warrior brilliant stretches during that game. Kevin Knox, he was acquired at the trade deadline in the Josh Hart deal. And then Watford missing there. Draymond in the post, that Warrior split action. Blazers played it well, but Looney slipping the screen.
It's funny, they switched the split action, then they kind of switched it back, and Looney just found no man's land in between as Watford was behind him.
Skylar Mays looking for Watford. Nate Williams out of the corner and bottoms a three.
Yeah, Nate Williams, he's a slasher, kind of left-hand dominant. Over 45% from three-point range his last year in college.
Draymond right to the rim. Well done.
Yeah, Draymond, I'm just happy to see him out here playing after all the shots he's taken to the face and head lately.
Williams, given name Janathan, prefers to be called Nate. The 4 years at Buffalo, as Coletta mentioned. Klay Thompson, 300!
Wow.
300 threes in a year. Only Steph and Harden have ever done it in NBA history.
Respect.
Shaedon Sharpe missing there. Klay with the rebound.
Klay's not done. To do it this early in the game, still going to be working.
Yeah, Klay's got 17. That went offline. That was a how hot am I?
Such a tough shot, like shooting at a moving target. Sayers talking about he wouldn't get back to the old Klay. Well, how about the new Klay might be even better?
GP2 is checked in. Obviously, the Warriors acquiring Gary from Portland. And Watford right down the lane.
They switched that one late. You fight over the original screen and try to switch late. You're going to be behind the roller.
Draymond back out to Steph. He bottoms a three.
The movement without the ball, a little give and go. Steph's give and go is so different, though.
I'll tell you, the Warriors cruising from distance, 6 of 9 to begin the game.
That helps.
Shaedon Sharpe tipping in his own miss. I'll tell you what, he never played at Kentucky. He was going to go there, but 4th in total threes for all rookies. Draymond to Dante. That's unselfishness.
They exploited the switch just like the Blazers did on the other side. Draymond drew the help. Yeah, Shaedon Sharpe, as Kevin Knox misses a three. Shaedon Sharpe graduated early, and he turned 19 before the draft, so he was a year removed. So that was all the talk this summer. Would he go to Kentucky? Never stepped foot in there. All the Kentucky bleed blue fans were disappointed.
Tell you what, Sharpe has the greenest of green light, missing that three there. If you don't turn it over and keep getting shots up, as Steph took a little contact and flipped it in anyway.
He was looking for the foul. Somehow spun it in, though. That man, hand-eye, he is unreal with his finishing ability.
Skylar Mays, three. Well, apparently Steve Kerr is going to use a timeout because Portland, they're going to keep jacking him up.
Last season, think about the way he's been playing lately. More under control, less turnovers, more drives, living at the free throw line. That's exactly what you need in the playoffs.
So Moses Moody's first playing time. GP2, little big man inside.
They are exploiting those switches. A little flare screen for GP2. His defender is behind because that defender switched onto him from Steph, so he just rolls to the basket. They're going to pick you apart.
So John Butler Jr., 7-footer, undrafted out of Florida State, checking in. Kevin Knox rattling that home. Knox was a lottery pick by the Knicks. And the Josh Hart trade got moved. He ended up in the Payton trade eventually.
Well, this is why some of these games can get dicey. Guys are playing for their NBA careers as Jordan Poole knocks down his first three.
Well, GP2 with the steal. Kicking it back out to Steph. And Jordan again. Okay. At sack, he was 0 for 10. Tonight he starts 2 for 2, or today, and that's a nice beginning for the Dubs.
Yeah, he's clearly not worried about what happened in sack. And how about GP2's energy straight off the bench making an impact?
Draymond with the block. Steph off to the races. Running with Payton. Poole the trail 3. Rimmed it out. So the Dubs on a 20-7 run right now, building the 15-point lead.
The three-point shooting has been crazy.
Oh, Payton, pickpocket of Sharp. Moody on the handle. Moses slipped. Curry sidestep 3. Got another one!
Moody may have slipped, but he got it to the right guy.
The NBA record for first quarter scoring is 51. The Warriors did that against Denver. They're looking at 41 right now. We got over 3 minutes left.
What's the NBA record for first quarter threes?
Kevin Knox launching. Moody rebounding. Keep the foot on the accelerator. And the Draymond Express flying into the station. Couldn't get the angle there. Barry Walker off back iron. I mean, this is the biggest up and down game you're ever going to have. No team is looking to slow anything down right now.
Well, think about GP2's plus minus. As soon as he got in the game, he just took off. He's getting steals. People are knocking down threes left and right even more as Kuminga comes in the game.
But this is where you don't want to get casual or sloppy, because a big first quarter lead in the NBA means nothing.
But let's give him credit, though, for starting like this. An early game, you could come out and you're just flat, but the Warriors know what's at stake. They're thinking about the playoffs right now. Sense of urgency.
Moody putting it in and drawing the foul.
He got a rub screen from Jordan Poole. Just ran a wheel route. And I love that Moses Moody is in the game this early as well, because whenever he comes in the game, it seems great things happen. You're going to see him flash into your screen, and he knew the contact was coming. He was unfazed.
And Moody, always ready. So 7 away from NBA history. Butler from out top. You don't normally have a player and an official named the same. We have John Butler on the crew, and John Butler playing for the Blazers.
Yeah, Butler is supposed to be able to shoot it. Didn't look great there, but I'm sure as his career goes on, he'll get more comfortable from beyond the three-point line.
Klay Thompson missing that 3. Looney the offensive rebound. Come on, 3 Blazers around him.
But what else is new?
Oh, Moody to Kuminga. How pretty was that? The Warriors can't be any better offensively.
They're so fluid. After the offensive rebound, no one was surprised Looney got it, so they just kept moving and flowing into the next thing, which was Kuminga.
Klay. Oh, we thought he had the steal, and he will be called for the foul there. Thought he had pulled the Iguodala and knocked it away cleanly.
It looked like it because he was moving his feet. That's the key. He was in position to go ahead and reach in there. Almost had that one clean.
Shade on Sharp. Nice hesitation. Change of speed. Wow. I tell you, for a 19-year-old, all this playing time, you can just see his growth and improvement since the last time we saw the Blazers.
Blazers fans have to be excited about him.
Jordan Poole dropping in at 3. Giants Royals is rolling right now. The Warriors are 2 away from NBA history.
It's wild. The 2 defenders stayed with Klay first. He was unselfish, even though he's been hot too. and they collapsed on that roll. That opened it up for Jordan Poole. They're just playing together so well.
Justin Minaya, his dad Omar Minaya, former GM of the New York Mets. Shaedon Sharpe missing. 51 is the NBA record for first quarter. It was Warriors against the Nuggets.
Might as well go for it.
Moody for history. 52 in a first quarter has never been done.
That's wild. So many guys got in on the act, too.
11 threes, a 20-2 run. Catch and shoot, missed 3. Shaedon Sharpe gets another opportunity, and he was fouled.
They're just making sweet music on the offensive side, and their defense has been good enough to have a big lead.
It is fun to see this team over the years do things that have never been done. 73 wins, never been done. 37 and a quarter, Clay, never been done. 14 threes in a game, Clay, never been done. 52 in a first quarter, never been done.
They've been the best show on TV for
Top.warriors.com. We have beaten 30% off into the ground.
You made sure it has been done.
Absolutely. Moody to Kuminga, not going to settle for that 3 initially. Shot clock at 8. Keep the ball moving at 7. Poole, step around 3. Got it! 55 for the Warriors.
They weren't satisfied. How about the poise of Jordan Poole? The step back was lethal, got separation. His defender was in recovery mode. It took his time.
The NBA record for any quarter is 58. The new NBA record for a first quarter is tonight. Around and out for Sharpe. Double nickel. Warriors drive the speed limit in the first 12 minutes.
Well, that's not bad for a full half of basketball. We're talking about a quarter high-octane offense. They exploited a lot of switching in that first quarter.
Skylar Mays and Trenton Watford working on JaMychal Green, flipping it up and out. Kuminga the rebound. So Poole with DiVincenzo, Kuminga, JaMychal Green, and Klay Thompson.
Just trying to keep your foot on the gas pedal.
DiVincenzo passed up an open 3. And Klay off front iron. Dante easiest rebound. Poole attacking. That's good. Don't just cast away on 3s. Even as hot as you've been, just keep adding to the lead. Skylar Mays is fouled.
You can get anything you want against this Blazer team, and they've shown that. But Skylar Mays, he's a crafty guard. Probably a steal. We talked about his shooting ability, comparison to Malcolm Brogdon. He's pretty skilled. He's got the ball handling ability, good vision, pick and roll player, pretty good decision maker, high IQ player.
You know, if the Warriors were to hold on and win this game, they would actually win 4 of their last 5 games on the road.
That's true.
Okay.
And don't talk to me about who's playing those games. It's on the road. The way this season has gone, I'll take any road win how I can get it.
Yeah, we're also watching that Phoenix Clipper game. You saw the 5-point margin. Clippers win, Warriors play Sacramento. Clippers lose, Warriors play Phoenix.
The Clippers are trying to win.
Clippers want to stay out of the play-in.
That's it.
And Klay was out of bounds and not reestablished.
You don't want to mess around there. I'm sure they'd rather not see the Suns, but they'd rather be in the playoffs all the way and not in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, and Steve Kerr just said keep it simple. Just on offense and defense. As Knox hits that 3, is just kind of play possession by possession.
Here's the scenarios.
Warriors win. That's first and foremost, and you like their chances leading 61-34. But there's a long way to go in this game.
There is.
DiVincenzo hitting the 3. Dante, the last 3 games, 50% on 3s, averaging 17 a game. He's already got 7 today.
His impact's winning. He's going to do whatever it takes to win.
Skylar Mays, good drive, but Watford couldn't hold that. Kuminga somehow found Poole. He throws it to Klay in the corner for 3. I was just saying, come on. If that went, start the bus and let's get out of here. DiVincenzo nearly stole it from Skylar Mays. And Nate Williams lays it up and in.
They're okay to trade buckets the rest of the game, basically, if they wanted to. But
yeah, trade buckets and keep the clock running and keep everybody healthy. Get a week off. JaMychal Green inside. Little patience and lay it in.
There you go. You can get inside.
Mike has been out of the rotation a little bit, but heading into the playoffs, you're going to need everybody. So Knox missing there. Klay Thompson got Williams behind him. JaMychal Green loads up a three. Here comes Skylar Mays. Good look for Knox.
Klay had all the players at the scorer's table yelling, "Behind you, behind you!"
Trenton Watford with the show and go. He traveled.
Because JaMychal Green got over there to help.
Also a big notification this final weekend for officials. James Williams, our crew chief, will be a playoff official.
Okay.
That full announcement will happen over the weekend, but that's the next stage for the officials and getting those playoff reps and playoff opportunities.
That's a big thing for them. Trusted by the league. High-stakes games.
Well, and they're evaluated all season long and graded, and Monty McCutcheon does a good job of looking at everybody. The last couple of years, there's so many crew chiefs that have retired. The officiating crew's very young on balance in the NBA, but certainly the training and the scrutiny they go under. It's a very tough job. Steph Curry on Butler and dropping it in.
Yeah, Butler is getting a lesson tonight.
He said nobody at Florida State played like that guy.
Oh, from the Warrior big guns.
I could see the Brogdon stuff in Skylar Mays.
Right?
You know, and that's a very veteran drive, pump fake, and finish.
Just under control. Never seems to be confused about what to do. At peace with his game.
Michael Green couldn't quite save that. He gets it to Moody somehow. Shot clock at 10. Steph's got Jabari Walker on him. Steph down the lane. Come on. Flipped it up and out to JaMychal Green, keeping it alive. It'll be Blazer ball.
Steph lost the ball and actually used it to his advantage. That's how good his handle is.
Did you have a problem with day games? Like the 12:30? Did it feel different or weird? Or
it felt different. I just went a little harder in my pregame warm-up. Just worked up a little more of a lather. I didn't take the cold shower like Steph, though. That's what he does.
Kevin Knox, nice cross-court pass, Skylar Mays. Rebound. Kuminga touched it last. Can I ask you to do one thing in the playoffs since we're broadcasting round one again?
Sure.
If you had breakfast with Klay today, would you mind having breakfast with him all the other playoff games?
I'll be just tracking him down every single time.
Klay, breakfast time.
It's like, you again?
17 in the first quarter for Klay.
Yeah, last time I sat with you, you played well, Klay.
Jabari Walker, a deep two. I had breakfast with Moses Moody. He said, sit down, and then he said, get away from me.
He's about to have his worst game of the season. No, we're not going to wish that on Moses Moody.
Kuminga, the patience to step around. I tell you, for a 20-year-old kid, I don't think Kuminga, this has been a great year, too, for him.
Maturity. He's going to be a weapon in the playoffs. Looking forward to seeing what he does.
The Warriors get the week off if they win this, and finding Walker inside, you're going to get to reintegrate Andrew Wiggins. He will be back in the starting lineup, and then that's where DiVincenzo, Payton, Kuminga, Jordan Poole, your depth and the options for Steve Kerr's there. Oh, the lob! And Kuminga high-rising and hammering.
And Kuminga hit the skyscraper. His defender just wasn't in between him and the basket, playing him loose. Go back door. Almost hit his head on the rim again.
Skylar Mays. Skylar Mays is having a game. He's got 11, but a lot of clever drives.
Solid.
Kuminga the step around. Come on, and he would get to the line.
Kuminga is recognizing how he's being played, and his teammates definitely are. But they're just kind of playing on the top side. He goes back door. His catch radius is everywhere. Look how high this man gets, like a helicopter just rising.
I love that last replay because you always talk about throw the lob to the rim or below the box. Steph went full max there, and Kuminga stretched out to go grab.
Well, he's one of those players you can just throw it as high as you want just to make the highlight better.
Man,
throw a bad pass to him.
Kuminga with 8. It's easy to play with a 30-point lead. Shaedon Sharpe missing there. Now the ball hit Payton and he was out of bounds. In the NBA, that means you took it out of bounds. It's different in high school or college.
He's working to get it as Kuminga gets a much-deserved break. Probably tough to breathe, the altitude up there when you jump. Take a break.
Evan Knox off the heel of the rim. Draymond Green the rebound. Moody with the shot clock at 10. Draymond waiting for some man movement. Right now, everybody kind of standing still. Shot clock at 3. And then they throw it away. So that turnover kind of created by the Warriors. You know, okay, we're up 30 and not having that same cutting and moving we saw early in the game.
Yeah, they're trying to move there. And GP2 is actually saying, my bad, here he comes.
And he just took it from Shaedon Sharpe.
You always got to know where GP2 is if you're on offense, and he's on the other side.
Yeah, Gary really got fully healthy here in Portland. Looney to Draymond.
It's so good. It's just your normal split action. Draymond's just cutting off of it, exploiting switches.
You know, we were looking in the NBA history as Skylar Mays misses there, and in Warrior history, only run TMC with a 57-point quarter. Scored more than the Warriors 55 in the first as Steph Curry lays it up and in.
Man, how smart is Steph? Bumper car, got the defender on his back, used it to get momentum going to the basket.
But for a franchise that started in 1947, to see the second highest scoring quarter ever in the franchise, as Nate Williams puts that down, and the highest scoring first quarter ever in NBA history, it's kind of fun on an Easter Sunday. Curry missing that 3. Suns lead over the Clippers is 3 right now. About 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Again, Clipper win. Warriors played Sacramento. Clipper loss. Warriors play Phoenix. Williams couldn't score there. Moody taking it back. Moses Moody missing that 3. I'd say it's a quiet Portland crowd right now. There's a lot of Warrior fans here. They're having a lot of fun in the first quarter.
Steph brings him out wherever he goes. They like watching his pregame warm-up. It's a spectacle.
Kevin Knox with a big step. Couldn't get the angle there. Moody, pretty good D. And Steph's like, yeah, let's have the clock run. We got a 32-point lead. Payton, it just stayed there. And Looney couldn't quite guide that home. And then GP2 with the foul.
It's the same type of thing. They're getting to the basket whenever they want. They're just exploiting the switches. The thing I'm thinking about for the Warriors in this postseason, finding ways to overcome some of the turnovers they may have in games. I think offensive rebounding may be a weapon for them. It's a weapon for Williams.
Well, to me, the turnovers and then the frantic fouling that we saw early in the year, and the free throw disparity. And then the way teams shot threes on the road against the Warriors.
Right.
It just didn't make any sense.
Because last year they were 29th in turnovers. It wasn't as many as they're having this year as Steph dances.
And Curry hits a 3.
This dude, filthy.
So 15 for Steph, 17 Clay, and then 18 for Jordan.
But in the playoffs last year, they found ways to overcome it as they force a turnover.
Steph lost it briefly, and then, okay, let's use a little more clock. Curry from Lake Oswego just battled that out. And Looney just continues to rebound, and the crowd is chanting Loon. How about that? A road crowd was chanting Loon as he pulled that offensive rebound.
Dub Nation is in the building.
Hey, come on, Looney has become something.
You see the way he was just tapping it to himself? It's what Dennis Rodman used to do. His IQ as a rebounder is off the charts.
Shaedon Sharpe hit that jumper on the other end. He's got 12. Looney joining Antoine Jamison is the last Warrior to play an all-82, and Steph hitting another 3.
And he's pointing at the bench, too.
Curry 18, 4 of 8 on threes.
It's just talent. I have a really quick release. You can be right on me. I'm unfazed.
Warriors scored 89 against Sacramento and a half earlier this year. They're 84 right now. 8-second big clock, little clock difference. Shaden Sharp from deep. Hey, I like this kid. They've been looking for a small forward in Portland for a long time.
Yeah. I could see him playing with Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard.
Yep. Shot clock off. Final seconds. And they actually don't get a shot off there, but the Warriors build the commanding lead and 36 bench points with many guys getting ready for the postseason.
Everybody that's come in has been ready. No drop off.
Halftime update. Suns are beating the Clippers by 5. Again, Clipper victory. Warriors would play Sacramento. A Clipper loss. The Warriors would play Phoenix in round 1.
Come on, Kawhi, do things.
And DiVincenzo with a steal. Finding Draymond, easiest bucket of the afternoon.
It's just a solid play from DiVincenzo. Didn't try anything fancy. Solid chest pass. Even froze and admired his work.
So based on the pace of these games, as Watford missing and Nate Williams flies in, you could have a Warrior result, and then we're sitting around watching the end of that Clipper-Phoenix game to find out who the Warriors play in round 1.
I can't lie. I'd like to see the Warriors play the Kings. That would be epic.
Pass to Looney, tracks it down in the corner. Steph and Clay, DiVincenzo with Looney and Draymond. Shot clock at 5, and Skylar Mays with the steal.
That's a tough pass. That was not going to get through.
Nate Williams rewarding Trenton Watford for running the floor.
Just keep playing solid basketball. You don't need to hit home runs, obviously.
Well, Azubuike chastised them with, how about 14 or less turnovers. 5 in the first half. Curry putting it up and in and drawing the foul.
Watford is just on the top side. And Steph had him on his back, kept him there. There's nothing Watford could do about it. They're just executing so well. Look at Watford just trying to keep Steph from coming over and getting a 3, and wasn't really in between him and the basket. Gave Steph a choice. Steph faked up and went back door.
One of the least discussed storylines of this year is the Warriors going 14-12 in the 26 games that Steph missed. In years past, if he missed 26 games, they would have never been a postseason team.
Well, think about the talks earlier in the season about the Warriors' depth as Watford gets to the floater. That was a question. It was like, well, what's the rotation going to be? Are they experimenting with different lineups, different combinations? No one was really playing well off the bench or was any kind of rhythm.
Steph now, the shoulder situation, and then he had the knee issue, and it was Klay Thompson that really kept them afloat along with Chase Center as that shot blocked.
And now the bench has been a weapon.
DiVincenzo, he's just stealing everything. What are you going to do in the playoffs with Dante and GP2? Curry hitting the 3.
Steph Curry's in that flow state.
He's going to come up tenths of a percentage short of 50, 40, 90. And was looking to be the oldest guy to ever do that. That ball thrown away.
And Steph's standard is excellence.
At age 35, 14 years in the league.
He's not slowing down.
But in years past, when Curry missed, the Warriors' winning percentage was 30%. So 26 games, that would have cratered this team, especially as tight as the West was. And Shaden Sharp hits the 3.
Well, you mentioned Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole didn't miss a game, showed up.
Yep.
Up or down, he was there. He's on the court. He gave himself a chance to have a good game. Looney.
Great year from Looney. Great year from Draymond. And a growth year from Kuminga. Klay missing from the baseline. Nate Williams. Draymond did well there, and Steph had the nice box out for the rebound. But you start looking at the top 7 guys. Once you get Wiggins back, the top 7 from a year ago are there. Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney starting 5. And then Poole and Payton off the bench. That's your top 7. What'll be different is a grown-up Kuminga or growing up, and then Dante DiVincenzo, and then you've got Lamb. You've got some opportunities. Pass to Klay, he wasn't ready for it.
That is so rare for Clay not to be looking as Williams takes it down on the other side.
And Steve Kerr going to use the timeout for Steph, and then a career high in rebounds and nearly averaged 30. Well, you got to be kidding me.
Well, the thing I've been impressed with too is just his finishing inside as well. You're not supposed to get better at this age finishing inside. He's always been a good finisher, but he's even taken that to another level.
Oh, that's a bad turnover there. Kevin Knox. Tough turn and fade, and Looney saved the day. The other thing, too, is if you look at NBA history, guards after age 32, they don't have seasons like Steph just did.
That's what I'm saying.
It just doesn't, historically, it just doesn't happen. Father Time is undefeated.
Got the foul there.
Yep, he will go to the line.
And just seeking out the contact, not avoiding it. He's built his body up. He's an all-round scorer.
Because if you start looking at the arc of all the great players, now, Michael Jordan at 40 was, you know, he's the greatest player that's ever played. And what LeBron is doing at his age, he's the second greatest player that's ever played. But you just don't, when you're guard.
Think about basketball. If you can shoot the three ball the way you think about basketball, Warriors are in a zone here. They've done this all season. Like, just take teams out of rhythm. I'm sure this is just for playoff practice right now.
Work on the zone, get some tape to look at, and Draymond deflecting and causing the turnover. Vincenzo didn't catch it cleanly. He'll back it back out. Klay Thompson with these long closeouts, you get whatever you want, and then Draymond hits the three. How about that?
And everybody's smiling, having a good time. But when you move the ball like that, you're going to have a good time.
There were good decisions there by Dante and Klay. Knox missing.
Yeah, Dante is just so solid. He's the perfect guy to have in a game like this. As I'm talking great about him, he turns it over. Usually he's making this simple pass, not turning the ball over.
What Dante knew is that one of the Blazers had a cut elbow and needed to get treated. And so James Williams was going to have somebody get looked at on the bench.
Yeah, you can't get anything.
So Dante just, like in soccer, when you just kick it out of bounds intentionally, you know, to allow the treatment to happen. And Steph, who has a cut on the elbow.
So you're saying Dante is more than a team player.
Right.
He's thinking about the other team as well.
Well, we talked about Dante played soccer from 3 years on at a super elite level, and basketball came late. So he just did his English premiership there. Wait, someone's injured? I kick it out of bounds and give the other team possession. He's a value add for the postseason.
He really is.
He wasn't here last year.
On both ends of the floor.
The pass inside, Looney saw it the whole way. DiVincenzo attacking. Klay Thompson, corner three, rhythm dribble. You know, when he pounds that rhythm dribble like warm-ups, he doesn't miss.
I like it. The Warriors have been trending in the right direction lately. You add Wiggins to the mix, takes you even to another level. You got GP2 in there as Draymond just makes a great defensive play.
He blocked another three and let the bench know about it.
He just understands when we're talking about defense. He wants to help us out. Everybody's a team player today.
Best five-man unit in the league. Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney. Andrew has missed half the season with injuries and obviously a significant family matter as Klay Thompson fouling Knox.
Defensively, the Warriors are ready. You think about last season, they were second in the NBA in the regular season. Their defense led the way in the regular season. They were 16th offensively, and then they had some key stops in the playoffs defensively. Looney was key there, and they found ways. I was talking about the Warriors finding ways to overcome turnovers. They did that last season with second chance points at times, upping that as well.
Finishes 4-1 in their last 5 road games. And can they win on the road? Now, this is also a team that's won a road playoff game in 27 straight series, which is a continuing NBA record. So if there's ever a team that could go grab one on the road in a playoff series, let's play travel there.
And speaking of them defensively, you don't want to keep turning the ball over, but speaking of them defensively, what they've done with the zone this year, remember they've gone to boxes and ones, 2-3 zones, 3-2 zones, just taking teams out of rhythm. If ever they find themselves not able to guard people off the dribble, they spring that zone on them, and teams have struggled against it. And in the playoffs, you'll see some of that, especially if the Warriors are struggling defensively.
Yeah, every playoff series Steph has ever played in, the Warriors have won a road game. And that's it. And then every playoff series that Steph, Clay, and Draymond were healthy for the entirety, they never lost a playoff series with the three of them healthy.
Just keep the good vibes the Warriors have had lately on the road going in the playoffs.
And Looney up and in.
Looney's been so good. I love the way Coach Kerr talked about him. He's just like, flat out, he's been one of our best players. One of the best rebounders in the league. He's established.
Kevin Knox around and out.
There you go. Every time we talk about something, it just seems like they do it. Looney gets a rebound.
Looney holding. Shot clock at 7. Jordan spun into Skylar Mays. It ricocheted to Kevon. Called a great pass, but he just couldn't quite finish it. I think Draymond is done for the day because he took his hand wrap off. You start worried about health here, but you like the defense. Kuminga, he blocked it and pointed to the bench too.
They got something going with the bench as far as block shots, deflections.
Well, blocking threes. You know, fouling guys shooting threes is the worst defensive play you can have. As Poole got a little hitch in his get-along running back.
You don't need that. Blocking threes, Warriors were the best guarding the 3-ball last season. They're looking to do that in the playoffs if they can, guard the 3-ball better.
Well, when you have the all-defensive team, Draymond Green better be in that discussion.
Yeah.
Because, you know, back in the day, Olajuwon, we saw it more recently, Rudy Gobert, you know, the block shots and the tall guys. But Marcus Smart last year, Draymond, Kawhi Leonard, these guys can guard people 1 through 5. Doesn't that make you really the best defender? When you can guard point guards and guard at the 3 and deal with big men? Skylar Mays with an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Versatility is key, especially in today's NBA. Everybody wants a guy that can switch on to guards on the perimeter and move their feet. You got the length that Draymond has. He can be a rim protector. He can guard the 3-ball as Mays gets inside. Just a solid drive.
So let's talk about you playing. Okay, you were a good defender. You're strong, so you could deal with bulkier guys. But would you want to be chasing Trae Young around?
No.
No, I mean, right? I mean, it's not easy to say a guy can guard 1 through 5, and yet Draymond is able to do all of that stuff.
He is.
It's okay if someone can guard 3 possessions. You could do that, no problem. But Rudy catch and shoot. My breakfast buddy hitting a 3 right there. How about that?
He's making you look good. I think it was just the omelet he had, maybe not the company.
No,
I'm kidding.
Jabari Walker draws the foul.
That was some good breakfast this morning, man.
It was.
The
Clippers have taken the lead again. Clippers win.
Come on.
Warriors play Sacramento. Clippers lose. Warriors play Phoenix. It's that simple.
Clippers need it.
And kick off lives. Why is it important for the Clippers? Because they would get Paul George back more than likely. And a fully formed Clipper team is super dangerous too.
Absolutely. Ty Lue with his adjustments. That's one main thing that you got to think about with the playoffs. Who can make the best adjustments?
DiVincenzo, another 3. Stay hot, Dante DiVincenzo. Make it 50% on threes his last 4 games. He's 2 of 4 tonight. I'll tell you, Skylar Mays, he's interesting to watch, Kay.
I can see him as a backup PG in this league.
Chance Comanche, who was just signed before the game, missing there. He was with the Stockton Kings.
He might have the best name in the league right now.
Absolutely. Get it to Comanche.
Take a chance.
Kuminga blocking Skylar Mays. 3 on 2 on the counterattack. The Warriors using clock here a little bit. DiVincenzo just off iron, but the ball movement, the man movement, playing the right way, and that's in garbage time or extended lead situations. That's hard for guys. But coaches still watch that all the time.
For sure.
DiVincenzo, oh man, is he something defensively. Got another deflection, and Moody got the dunk, and Jordan, he took the defender Mays right with him and delivered it perfectly.
Did you hear Coach Kerr? He's like, great job, Jordan. That's the way you execute it. Make sure you don't turn it over. Make that man commit.
Mays now. He's taking things to trouble. That was knocked out of bounds. Still Blazer ball.
They're going to keep collapsing on all those drives. This is a great exchange. Energy for energy. DiVincenzo comes out. GP2 comes in the game. And DiVincenzo gets a hug from his coach. It's just effort.
He's appreciated Dante all year. When's a game you ever didn't see DiVincenzo going 100 miles an hour?
Well, that's the key. He can have an impact on a game, and it's not about scoring. What else can you do for me?
It's almost like he's won national titles and an NBA championship. Been around winning his whole life. Dante is just a winner. Oh, no. Jordan again took a hard fall and kind of checking body parts here.
That was loud, too.
110 to 69. You do not want to see that.
Just stay down. He's taking a break. He's good, I think. He's just using his speed again, getting by the slower big.
We mentioned it with Looney. Got to mention it with Jordan as much. He's played in every game this year. And he got an extension in the offseason, and then you show up and play every game?
I'm giving him credit.
Thumbs up, man.
For sure. Young player in this league. It seems like it's getting trendy to sit out sometimes. He's not about that life.
Battled that free throw out. The All-Star Teacher Award at Union, NBC Sports Bay Area. Doing it for 16 straight years.
Beautiful.
And I like that it's $30,000 on the award.
It's a good number.
That is the Warrior franchise number. 30 for everything. Skylar Mays. Comanche off iron there. Minute and a half remaining in the third. Warriors an NBA record 55 as Poole had that block in the first quarter. And we will have Minaya be fouled. Flip it in. An opportunity for a three-point play.
Jordan Poole took it into trouble there. Probably could have went drawn dish. But they got some athletes. They're going to try to keep running it back.
So interesting. Manaya's dad, Omar, GM at MLB, just like
Mets.
Donovan Mitchell's dad was also involved in professional baseball. You know, we see Clay with Michael Thompson, Steph with Del Curry. I mean, just the people in pro sports and their children going into pro sports as well. Kuminga with the drive and finish.
That's why I love Kuminga's changeup. Put him in the post. Let him go to work. You need a bucket. Kuminga can do it.
Well, you kind of mentioned maybe JK is an option as Minaya misses there. Depending on matchups, the playoffs are all matchups.
Well, yeah.
You sub this guy, wait, we got this guy to counter that.
But think about Kuminga with shooters in the game, and him as a screener and a roller, and him in the mid-post going up against a small defender like he is now.
Yeah, space out to a shooter, and Moody hitting the three.
Yeah.
Perfectly done.
Yeah, it's because you have to respect his post game enough to where you collapse on that a little bit, or defenders react. If you have shooters all around him, and that can be dangerous.
Also, too, JK on the offensive glass, or running the floor, the ability to finish. He elevates like no other guy on the roster.
He gives defenders less time if he's in pick and roll. Or put him on the baseline. Let Draymond set the screen and draw that defender, throw it to the lob.
Ari Walker got all the way to the ring. That was a nice GP2. He just gave Walker a nice pat, like, hey, that was a nice move. Good job. Shot clock is off. Warriors 12 minutes away from the playoffs. And they'll keep an eye on that Clipper-Phoenix score to figure out if they're playing the Kings or if they're playing the Suns. Kuminga with the right hand. Oh, goodness gracious.
The bench doesn't know what to do with themselves. What just happened?
Steve Kerr, he hit his eye. NBA well.
Kuminga spent a lot of time in the air.
Kuminga missing that layup there.
It's a good drive, though. He normally finishes that.
We can have some league champions on the Warriors. Klay Thompson, most threes in the league. Kevon Looney, most offensive rebounds in the league.
Now look at the Warriors picking up full court. It's a way of life for GP2, and everybody else is just kind of following suit. Kuminga's done it a lot this year, too.
Warriors trio, most threes ever in a season. There's Steph, Clay, and Jordan. Butler missing short there. And Moody fouling Comanche.
Just fighting for the rebound.
The Clippers-Suns game is a one-point game with 5:29 left in the third. Phoenix leading. And
Jacques Landale is playing well. Josh Okogie is giving him the business. Damian Lee
and Sabin Lee. If you're the Clippers, cover a guy named Lee. Clippers win. Warriors play Sacramento. Clippers lose. Warriors play Phoenix.
That's Damian Lee's type of game. He always plays well in those types of games.
Jabari Walker. Nice step around to finish. Warriors are going to finish the year winning 8 out of 10. 4-1 at home, 4-1 on the road. Jordan Poole, how pretty was that?
And he left two defenders
on the deck. Oh no!
He just bit the dust. Hesitations.
Is
that is.
And Jabari Walker still down.
I mean,
so 10:41 left.
But they have big hearts, championship swag, and a lot of guys who will put pressure on you like GP2 and Kuminga.
Shaedon Sharpe missing, so Anthony Lamb and Lester Quinones are going to get extended playing time here with Moody, GP2, and Kuminga. Steph, Clay, Draymond, Looney are done. And I think Poole, hopefully, too. He's taken a couple falls today. Moses Moody, stay hot.
Did you see Quinones there? He's figuring out how to play Warrior basketball. The little screen in there, that wasn't a set play. He just saw where Moses Moody was. If you're in the same vicinity as GP2 gets a steal.
DiVincenzo and GP2 have had more steals today. Quinones picking up in the backcourt. Kevin Knox will break that pressure, and Gary called for the foul.
He just clipped him.
They're putting pressure of threes. They're 22 of 39, but Clay 6 of 11, Steph 5 of 10, Poole 4 of 5, Moody 4 of 5.
I'm going to let these guys play it out.
And Kuminga, the foul there as Comanche was posting up.
He's just trying to work his way around.
Suns have moved up 7 on the Clippers. Now, if the Pelicans win, the Clippers could fall from 5 to 6 to 7 and play the Lakers in a play-in game.
Yeah.
The Suns are not playing any of their starters. This would be a disastrous loss for the Clippers because they're playing Kawhi and Westbrook and Zubats and their whole team.
Well, it's the NBA. You think, oh, the Suns aren't playing anybody. It's an easy win for the Clippers. Nope, this is the NBA. Every team's got talent. Guys are still playing for their NBA lives, trying to put good stuff on film as Kuminga comes out of the game. Steve Kerr commends his work and his time in the air.
Steve's had a thought for a lot of players. Getting subbed out is PBJ likely to finish. And Lamb will pick up that foul.
He's trying to bring this thing home and land the plane. Well, that's how it goes. A lot of these games towards the end of the season can get kind of dicey because guys are still trying to ball out no matter who's in the game.
For a team that's been eliminated like Portland, does it have like a last day of school type of feel? Like, wow, this is our last game of the year. I mean, some of these guys will play summer league in a couple months and things like that. But
remember the Blazers,
boys and girls, ages 7 through 15, all skill levels and ability.
They know what they're doing with that academy. But Damian Lillard being healthy at some point during the season, Nurkic could never get healthy.
Right.
And Chauncey Billups, pretty good new coach.
Moody off iron there. Well, if you think about it, the Warriors and Dallas met in the Western Finals, and Dallas missed the playoffs.
It just shows you how hard it is to win consistently in this league.
I said at the top of the telecast, and it's something that is pretty incredible as Quinones drives and draws the foul. The Warriors in the last 8 years have 102 playoff wins. Okay? That's the most ever in an 8-year span in NBA history. Russell Celtics, Jordan's Bulls,
now 5th or 6th in the West they'll end up.
That's about right. The way the season has gone, up and down, on the road, at home, they've been their true selves. It seems like on the road they've struggled, but now they're in. If they win this one, and you wouldn't take any other team against them probably in a 7-game series as Comanche powers one home.
Well, the Warriors did not close out games at various points during the year that they had always closed out in previous iterations. And they were a very poor team on the road. And, I'm thinking of that Utah game with an 11 seconds. I'm thinking of a 4-point lead in Charlotte inside of a minute. I mean, games they never would have lost.
Yeah, the execution down the stretch at times hasn't been great offensively, which is something you normally wouldn't worry about the Warriors. How great they've been offensively over the years.
Naya shot that long and land with the rebound. But to your point, when you are the defending champs and you've had the success the Warriors have had all these years, you get everybody's come to Jesus game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest game of the year is PBJ. This is that 3.
And a lot of times you're just trying to stay afloat as you get Patrick Baldwin Jr. on the board.
And so if you're getting everybody's best shot, also just logistics. We had that parade in late June. Then the Warriors went to Japan, and the shortest offseason of any team. It's hard to get ramped back up.
It is.
I mean, there are going to be teams, Portland will be one of them, their season's done April 9th, not
Right.
June 29th.
Right. And all kinds of issues pop up, from slow starts to not defending without fouling to turnovers here to other teams getting offensive rebounds at times. It's just one of those things. But again, the Warriors are here. They're trending in the right direction. Looney and guys like Kuminga.
Well, even
and others,
DiVincenzo will run in and bat it back out.
Yeah, they're all kind of getting in on the act.
Quinones.
Oh.
Lester is fouled there.
That's a hard drive they collapsed on. He expected the collision.
The Suns are leading the Clippers by 8. And the Pelicans are leading Minnesota again. The Warriors with a Clipper win would play the Kings. A Clipper loss would play Phoenix. Quinones short on that free throw. Playoff tickets, courtesy of Kaiser Permanente, tried to say. Phoenix or Sacramento. They'll have games 3 and 4 at Chase Center. That first round series is Skylar Mays hits the 3.
And Draymond talked about wanting to see the Kings just because of the travel. Like, think about the Warriors, what they had to do to win the championship last year. Going to Denver, as PBJ knocks it down. Going to Denver, Memphis, Dallas, Boston. I mean, they were traveling all over the states.
I remember the first championship when you're going to New Orleans in a first round matchup.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're dealing with Memphis and Houston and Cleveland. I mean, the air miles for that first title were crazy.
Just take a bus drive up to Sacramento. You're there.
And the way it's working out, it might be a flight to Phoenix.
It might be.
The deal with Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton, PBJ missing. Moody got the rebound of the bucket, but went over the back to do it or called for the foul.
And Phoenix isn't bad as far as travel. Either series would be tough. You think about KD, finally get to see him at Chase Center if that's the series.
Right.
He hasn't played in there.
Yeah, the Suns haven't lost in any game that Durant has played. And the question is, can they come together at an elite level? They certainly have elite talent.
Well, they're kind of top heavy, maybe not as much depth anymore, but you still got guys like Josh Okogie who've been coming on strong lately, especially defensively. And they're big guns are guys that can give you problems. Devin Booker, Chris Paul is still respectable. What can he do? He's going to have to play well.
Well, the other thing, too, very quietly, I'm telling you something you don't know, is that DeAndre Ayton always plays well against the Warriors.
Rebounding.
It always seems like he has 17 and 12.
Well, he's going to use his
12.
He's going to use his size on the Warriors.
PBJ with a shot clock at 5. Moody taught him that at breakfast. Stop and flip it up and in. Moses 19 on 7 of 9 shooting. Nate Williams missing. PBJ, good defense there. Went straight up, didn't reach, and commit a foul.
There you go.
Oh, Moody. Nice feed to Anthony Lamb. This deeper reserve unit, they played some good basketball here in the fourth.
They are. Just being solid, staying away from the turnovers, finding the holes in the defense.
Skylar Mays drawing kick. Kevin Knox three. Knox has made the most of his playing time since being acquired from New York. 30 yesterday. He's got 13 today, but for a lottery pick looking for a home.
Sensation, phenomenon.
We saw that at the British Open at St. Andrews.
Exactly.
All the people wearing the Looney jerseys. And Quinones hitting the three. A group of guys had won a wager on the Warriors winning the championship, spent their winnings on a golf trip to Scotland for the 150th British Open. And Colin and I ran into them all wearing Kevon Looney jerseys.
Yep. United in their love for Loon.
So keeping an eye on that Phoenix Clipper game.
Ooh.
Oh, PBJ to Moses Moody.
It's funny, I was talking to Steph this morning. He's like, this game reminds me of my rookie year where I had 42 against the Blazers, the last game of the season, and Devin George fouled out of the game and they let him back in because we didn't have enough players. There's only 6 healthy going in.
It was Don Nelson's last game, and Ronny Turioff and others, you have to dress 8, and the Warriors did. 2 of their players did not have jerseys underneath their sweats.
Right.
And so after Devin George fouled out, when you put a player back in, it's a personal foul and a technical foul. And Nelly said to Joey Crawford, who was doing the game, he said, I only have 5 guys. They have to stay in.
Yeah.
And that was where Monte and Steph both went crazy.
Right.
And that was Don Nelson's final regular season game as a head coach in the NBA.
And they won that game.
They did.
Despite all that.
They did.
Don Nelson had to go to bat to Devin George to stay in the game. They were arguing for a while.
Well, Joey Crawford's one of the great characters and one of the great officials the league has ever had. We have a broadcast location on the court here so we can hear all the conversations. Joey told Nelly, you have to put these other guys in. And he said, they don't have a jersey on. Like if they take their sweatsuit off, they don't have a jersey on.
That would have been wild.
They can't go in the game.
Yep. Monte had 34 that game.
Yep. But yeah, that was the very young years of Steph. Can you imagine if we would have told him at that point, by the way, you're going to win 4 titles and go to the finals 6 times and be the greatest three-point shooter the game has ever seen and be scoring nearly 30 when you're 35 years old as Quinones hits the deck. Lamb lays it in. Oh, Lester has been creating nicely for others.
Showing us a little bit of everything.
Butler sidestep. Butler missing there. Is PBJ taller in person than you think?
He is.
I'm watching him play, and I could see some speed 5 or lineups where you play 5 out and he's your three-point shooter that another big's got to honor as Kuminga lasers at home.
Speed 5 or stretch 4. You can definitely stretch the floor. Kuminga's showing he can stretch the floor a little bit. If Kuminga's hitting that shot, he's going to be unguardable pretty soon.
Now, there's a sportsmanship aspect when you're up 147 to 91, but the Warriors are 4 threes away from the NBA record. 3 threes away from the NBA record.
You spoke too soon.
In a game. Milwaukee at 29 has the record. The Warriors have 26 right now, and I don't know if you want to keep shooting threes, but maybe you do. No team's ever made 30 in a game. And that pass, Kuminga tapping his chest. Shouldn't have thrown that in terms of the turnovers.
Looking right at the bench. I didn't mean to hit off Moses Moody's shin bone.
For Klay Thompson, that game is Comanche hits there where Danny Green upended him and he blew out his ACL and then tearing his Achilles in the rehab and a scrimmage down in LA, and to see him 2 years back, just so incredible. As Quinones, here we go, 2 away from NBA history.
Well, these fans in here want to see it. I normally wouldn't say that when we're away, but there's a lot of Warrior fans in here.
Skylar Mays missing that 3. PBJ with the rebound. 55 in the first quarter, an NBA first quarter record. PBJ shot that long and strong. Kuminga will track it down. Moody will tee it up. I think the Warriors are aware of taking a shot at it. 27 of 49, 55% on threes.
Look at Steph. He's getting a kick out of it.
Well, Steph's been checking on Masters updates during the last couple timeouts.
Of course he has. That's why they got their work done so early. Like, let's get this thing over with so we can go watch the Masters.
Well, Andre Iguodala's favorite golfer, Rory McIlroy, he was not involved.
Rough time.
Well, you know, McIlroy needs the Masters for the career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So, the Clippers have taken the lead over the Suns. 92-91, inside 9 minutes remaining.
Great news.
So we'll keep an eye on that. The Pelicans are trailing, so I don't know if anyone on the bench is looking at the Pelicans score for the Clippers. Because that would impact if the Clippers lose, they could drop into the play-in tournament. There's a lot going to go on in the next 7-8 minutes in the NBA. But one thing is for certain is the Golden State Warriors, as Moody dunks it down, the defending champs are in the playoffs. No play-in tournament. They're going to finish with 44 wins. They're going to win 8 of their last 10 games. They're going to win 4 of their last 5 at home and 4 of their last 5 on the road.
They did what had to be done.
And we are going to have the first round of the playoffs right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. But Moody's just having a dunk fest right now.
Mays just lost sight of him. Got caught ball watching.
So Moody's got 25. Apparently I am having breakfast with him in the playoffs.
He's just been doing pull-ups on the rim. You might have to.
John Butler will hit the 3 after the Warriors had built a 59-point lead. We don't get to say that very often.
Yeah, I think the crowd gets chicken nuggets or something. They went crazy after they hit that 3 to get over 100.
Kuminga missed that short. Quinones will track it down. PBJ driving and beating the buzzer. You know what's going to happen too in Utah? The Utah Jazz will have not held a team under 100 the whole year. That's never happened. Ever.
Wow.
Think about, this is one of the most prolific scoring years in league history. Don't shoot that. Quinones will back that out. The Warriors did exactly what they needed to do. And we're going to watch the end of that Clipper-Suns game and find out. And I know on Warrior Postgame Live they should get a final result and find out, are we going to Sacramento or are we going to Phoenix? But we do know the Warriors are going on and playing in the playoffs.
They did it. Team effort. Everybody got in on the act as well.
27 made threes.